Hello, and thank you for taking the time to review the Enrollment Engagement Strategy here at Helix. At this point, you've already become familiar with the Helix way, as well as the qualification process, both of which have provided you with a great deal of information to help shape your success as an enrollment coach. Moving forward, we will no longer use the term contact strategy, because we're not solely trying to contact inquiries. We want to engage inquiries and build lasting relationships with them as we assist them on their educational journey. With that being said, we will review the new engagement strategy at Helix. The engagement strategy takes place over 30 days and utilizes phone, email, and text messaging to engage inquiries. Now, we're going to review the actual strategy. Please keep in mind, if at any point in the engagement strategy you contact an inquiry, you will move to the RISE conversation, which we will cover in just a bit. With the engagement strategy, you will notice that the first 10 days of the 30-day strategy are loaded with the majority of attempts to contact using phone, email, and text. As you will see, some days have specific messaging that correlate to that particular day. Templates and scripts will be provided to you for that particular messaging to ensure we are consistent in our approach. During the engagement strategy, it is important to leave effective voicemails when necessary. Doing this does take some skill, but you will want to be specific with your messaging. Be personal, like you're actually talking to someone, and provide just enough information to make someone want to call you back. After days 1 through 10, the strategy takes a hiatus and resumes again at day 15. And here you will see an example of the text message for day 15. After day 15, we make our final attempts to contact by email, phone, and text in that specific order. Here you see the day 21 final email. Next, you see the day 25 final call. After day 30 and sending the final text message of the engagement strategy, if there is no response, you, as the enrollment coach, will update that inquiry's priority in enroll to cold, callable, but not interested. Once more, if at any time you contact an inquiry, that is the point where we begin the RISE conversation. Additionally, within this training module, there is a process map of the entire engagement strategy, which includes the additional engagement strategy for inquiries who miss an appointment, submit an application, are admitted, and who have attended their first day of class. Please review this carefully. Now, let's take an in-depth look at the RISE model. Let's take some time to dig deeper into what it means to understand your audience as well as the RISE model. Understanding your audience is important because it allows you to bring value and purpose to your RISE conversation. Ask thoughtful questions and discover information you can build upon. Adapting your conversation to the particular audience allows you to be powerful, persuasive, and effective, especially when addressing the 4 Ps, which again are program, price, pace, and probability. We exist because there is a demand in higher education for the non-traditional student. While we enroll everyone that qualifies and is interested in furthering their education, our primary audience is the non-traditional student. Non-traditional students are generally those who do not go to college through the typical route. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, non-traditional students are usually 24 years of age or older and have work experience or family situations that can sometimes make attending college difficult. Non-traditional students generally have unique challenges that make them more vulnerable to factors that may impact their ability to complete their degree or begin college immediately after high school graduation, like a traditional student. For example, some may have financial responsibilities and/or challenges. They might be a single parent, a full-time worker, or might only have a GED versus a high school diploma like many traditional students. Non-traditional students generally took a different route when growing up than those who are traditional. For example, traditional students may have had a parent or loved one motivating, inspiring, and pushing them to go to school immediately after graduating high school, whereas a non-traditional student may have had challenges early on with finances and therefore work was the main priority, or they may have had children to support at an earlier stage in life. The role of an enrollment coach on the initial call is to position themselves as the role model, the cheerleader, the person who cares more about the student than the student does for him or herself. This means that an enrollment coach needs to be honest and provide tough love, when appropriate, of course. An enrollment coach should be positive, confident, and enjoy lifting people up and pushing them to be the best they can be. Now, let's dig deeper into the RISE model. If you recall from the Helix Way training, the RISE model is part of our culture of coaching at Helix. This model is the foundation for all the conversations we have with inquiries. As discussed in the Helix Way, RISE stands for rapport, inquire, sell and support, and empower. The RISE model is intended to create consistency so that each student can have the same positive experience as the next. Individual moods or feelings should not change the impact of the conversation. Consistent conversations also create consistent outcomes. The RISE model is focused on creating a positive student experience, and conversations with students utilizing the RISE model will allow enrollment coaches to check off all the appropriate conversation components in order to deliver a positive student experience. Through conversation, enrollment coaches will discover the student's story and build their confidence while offering a solution to their life challenges. As coaches, we are here to assist students in building a plan to help them achieve their goals. The purpose of rapport is to establish a strong foundation to build a lasting, successful relationship with each student. Rapport happens throughout the call by demonstrating active listening and responding accordingly. Rapport is also built when you become the trusted coach. You do this by setting up the call appropriately at the beginning and by showing confidence. Let's review the Helix Way of when contact is made. Start the call off with an introduction, your name and your role, an agenda or purpose of the call, and what you plan on accomplishing during the call. Here's an example. Hello, my name is Thomas Johns, your personal enrollment coach with National Louis University. On today's call, I would like to discuss your educational background, your career goals, and where you would like this degree to take your future. Then we will build a plan to help you achieve those goals. Throughout the call, you as the enrollment coach want to show that you are listening by giving the inquiry your full attention. In order to do this, you have to eliminate any distractions, such as people talking around you, cell phones, or anything that could take you away from the conversation. Respond with empathy by using "I understand," or "I can see that must have been frustrating for you" whenever an inquiry mentions a life struggle. Congratulate them and show excitement by using "Congratulations, what an accomplishment," or "That's wonderful, you should be proud of that" whenever an inquiry mentions a life achievement. The purpose of Inquire is to ask powerful and thoughtful questions to fully understand the student's objectives, goals, and motivation for earning their degree. In the call, it's important to inquire about the student's past, the student's current situation, and the student's motivation as well as future goals. Here are some tips to keep in mind whenever contact is made with an inquiry. Ensure you are asking open questions. You can also ask closed or choice questions whenever necessary. Ensure you ask developmental questions if you need more information. Remember, rapport happens throughout the call. Don't assume. Always ask the questions and get the student to tell you their story. Doing this empowers the student when they tell you the answers themselves and assists in building urgency. Don't come off as argumentative. Remember to actively listen and empathize where needed. When you respond, make sure it's purposeful and makes an impact. Here are some examples of open, closed, and choice questions that you will want to use. An enrollment coach should always find out about an inquiry's past, present, future, and motivation. We want to figure out as much as we can and piece together the best plan for them. The goal of PAST is to uncover the student's previous education so that you can gauge the student's admissibility into the school and program. You also want to uncover any previous barriers so that you can help the student eliminate those barriers so they'll progress forward and complete their degree all the way to graduation. Here are some examples of questions to ask regarding an inquiry's past. Tell me about your educational background. Tell me more about the courses you took, or just tell me more. What prevented you from completing your degree in the past? I see. Tell me more about that. The goal of present is to understand what the student has going on in their life and help the student understand that school can fit into the student's life now and that they can balance school and their life responsibilities. This is where you have the opportunity to tell the student about online degrees and how they benefit the student in accomplishing their future goals this time around. You also want to uncover any current barriers. A lot of those are usually related to time that may affect the student's decision to move forward with their degree now. Here are some examples of questions to ask regarding what is presently going on with an inquiry. Tell me more about your current employment situation. Tell me more about your current schedule, or walk me through your schedule. The goal of Future is to discover a student's future goals and to have them paint a picture of what their future looks like with a degree. Here are some examples to ask an inquiry about Future. Tell me about your future goals. Or, what do you see yourself doing in 5 or 10 years down the road with your BA or MA degree? The goal of motivation is to uncover the student's motivation or driving force for earning their degree. Motivation is usually an emotional reason or connection they have to earning their degree. For example, more money to support their family, or to be the first to graduate, or just for personal growth. Here are some examples of questions to ask about an inquiry's motivation. What is motivating you to complete your degree? What will earning your degree mean to you personally? What will having your degree do for you and your family? The purpose of Sell and Support is to help guide the student to move forward with their educational goals. It's important to provide industry and program knowledge, process support, and an understanding of the requirements for admissions, along with the next steps to enroll. Here's the Helix way regarding Sell and Support. Be the expert. You need to know the programs and the industry, including jobs or careers that align with the specific degrees your partner offers. Based on the information you learn from the student, ensure you guide the student. Don't just give them options. You simply tell them what they need to do next. Deliver your guidance by linking a feature and a benefit. Don't provide a host of information that doesn't pertain to the student's scenario or conversation you're having with them. Here's an example. Based on what you said, the program I recommend is the bachelor or master degree in this. The reason I recommend that program is because you said, this is where you fill in what the student said, and that degree will help prepare you for a career in that field. Now we're going to go over some different examples. Here's an example of selling the modality of online. Based on what you said, working full-time, having children, but also wanting to further your education and career, you will be most successful with our 100% online program. Now here's an example of selling the modality for ground. Based on what you said, that you like to learn in class, you do better when working with people in person, and you have the time, our ground program will be more suitable for your learning experience. Now here's an example of supporting a student's concern regarding money. You mentioned money being a concern. I want to let you know that we work with many students who are concerned about their ability to pay for their education. I would like you to know that we do work with you in helping you apply for financial aid, both loans and grants. After you apply, we will be able to help you determine what you are eligible for and help set you up with a finance advisor for further financial counsel. In addition, I can direct you to scholarship websites where you can research and apply for applicable scholarships. How do you feel knowing that you have options like financial aid and scholarships to assist you with your program cost? Here's an example of supporting students concerned regarding fear. I understand that you are nervous to get back into school again. I want you to know there are many services to help make sure you are successful. For example, we have tutor.com, which allows you to log in and to speak with a tutor, or have your papers reviewed for plagiarism or grammar so you can make adjustments before your instructor even sees your paper. Here's an example of supporting a student's concern regarding time. Time is usually a concern for most students. We do have programs that are 100% online, which will allow you to continue meeting your life responsibilities and further your education. You will be able to log into your classroom anytime when it's convenient for you to participate and submit your assignments. How do you feel now knowing you have those options available to you? The purpose of Empower is to enable the student to take ownership of their goals, future, and educational journey. Here's the Helix way regarding Empower. Explain the next steps. What does the student need to complete in order to begin their educational journey? Be specific and set firm expectations and deadlines for completing the next steps. Remind the student about their goals and future dreams. Remind the student when you speak with them throughout the enrollment process so that they continue to feel empowered and motivated to move forward. If you can, get all the paperwork and documentation completed on the first call. Here's an example when we're talking about next steps. The next step is for you to fill out the free application for Federal Student Aid, or FAFSA. When can you be at a computer with your taxes for me to help guide you either today or tomorrow? Here are some examples when we're talking about empowering students. Thank you for sharing everything with me today. I am very excited about your educational journey and future goals. Tell me, when are you planning on graduating and starting your future? Thank you for sharing everything with me today. I am very excited about your educational journey and future goals. Tell me why you will be successful and go all the way to graduation this time around. Thank you for taking the time to review this training today.